Hey everyone, I just wanted to pop onto my blog and talk about probably one of my favorite topics, which is diet, and specifically diet in regards to living with MS, because diet is so big when we're dealing with a chronic disease like MS. And it's definitely been something that I've talked a lot about on my Instagram and on my blog. And so recently I feel like I made a little bit of a switch and I wanted to just update everyone on it. So I've had a little bit of like a realization where I'm really confused by our society. I don't really understand why we have to classify our diets into categories. So the way we eat needs to have a name and it needs to be classified into a diet type. So, for example, being vegan or being vegetarian or eating for your blood type, or the new, probably the most popular one, is keto. And so I've just kind of like taken a step back and I'm trying to understand why we have to put a label on it. Why can't we just eat for us? Like why can't I take a little bit of everything from all of those different categories and create a diet for me? So that's kind of what I've done within the past month or so. I feel like I've gained a lot of knowledge within the past, like we're approaching a year actually. So gained a lot of knowledge about what is right for me and what is right for my disease, and I feel like I can kind of like nitpick all of this information that I've gathered. I can kind of just like create this diet that's right for me. So for example, I was eating vegan and strict vegan too, for maybe 6 months, a little bit longer. And I was feeling really good. And I'm sorry, I was also gluten free. But I was feeling really, really good. I was going into remission. And then all of a sudden, I had a flare up. And I was trying to figure out what caused the flare up. So that's when I went and got my blood tested. Because I thought maybe it was my diet. I don't know. So I went and got my blood tested and came back that I was blood type A. So then I went from strict vegan to blood type A, continued to have flare ups, wasn't going back into remission. And then I was like, okay, well, let's try this like keto thing because it's what everyone's talking about. So I looked into that, and there is actually a lot of benefits for eating a high fat diet, especially with a disease where you're losing your myelin sheath. It's been proven that a high fat diet can help protect your nerves. So I was like, that's awesome. Maybe I should look into this a bit more. And and so that was just recently. And it was at that point where I kind of realized, like, why do I have to classify myself as a keto? Why? I'm thinking, oh, okay, now I have to change my Instagram description of myself. But like, why do we have to do that? Can't I just take can't I just take things from all of these diets that I've been following and create my own type of diet that I know is right for me? So for example, I know, as when I was eating vegan, my body really benefited from lots of greens. And I will probably never go back to eating gluten. I know that there's been lots of research done where gluten can actually cause flare-ups. And I'm also found out that I am gluten intolerant, not celiac intolerant. They're two very different things. And so, yeah, I just know that gluten's not good for me. And so that's something I found out on my journey as well. So yeah, I'll never go back to the gluten. But so I know that eating lots of greens really helps my digestive system. So I can kind of take that from my vegan part of life. And then when I was eating for my blood type, I found out that lots of like white meats and fish are really good for me. So I have started eating some of those. And and then on this keto thing, I'm trying to take more of like a vegan approach to that. but I get really apprehensive calling myself a keto. So what I'm doing is I am eating lots of veggies. I've cut back on the amount of my fruit just due to the carbohydrates and sugar content. Do I still eat fruit? Absolutely. I mainly eat pineapple because I found out that it's really good for my gut. Blood types A, love pineapple, so that's kind of mainly the only fruit I eat. And then I eat some berries because I know that's also good for our brains. No gluten, and I'm eating lots and lots of salmon. I'm eating, lots of seafood, to be honest, and then some chicken and some turkey, but I'm super conscious about where it's coming from. And then just eating lots of really good fats. Like I'm having avocado. I went back to eggs, and I'm feeling great. So basically, I am eating a high-fat diet. Trying to eat lots of greens. Trying to eat the meats that I know my body can digest properly. So that involves staying away from red meats, as an example. And so yeah, I'm trying to mesh everything that I've learned about myself and my body within this year, and just trying to create my own diet. And I don't need to put a name on it. I don't need to categorize what I'm doing. And I find that decreases my anxiety whenever I would go to a restaurant. I'm thinking, okay, do they have vegan options? And then you sometimes end up cheating, and you feel really crappy about that, and you get anxiety about it. And so I feel a lot more laid back because I know that I can eat more foods than I thought I could. I just need to be careful about where they're coming from and what it is and how is it going to digest, because we all know that gut health is so important when we're fighting a disease like MS. And I've been feeling great. My digestive system has been really good. I know that raw veggies kind of can disrupt it a little bit. But once again, that's something that I've learned. And so I'm only about a year into this process, and I already feel like I've learned so much about my body, and I'm just excited to see what else I'm going to learn within this next year, and then just keep going, so on and so forth. So it's really exciting, and I feel really good about my decision to just kind of ditch the categories. It's just I'm doing what I need. And I think that's really awesome, and I totally advise it for everybody. All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. Have a good day.